For me, it's about the passion. I love the work. I love the art that goes into it behind. And with that being said, there's a lot of rejection. It's not like I could just get everything.
Dave Meltzer, CEO of Sports One Marketing, here with Entrepreneur the Playbook, and I am here with Ryan Ochoa, superstar. It's I don't get very many young actors and talents in here. Originally from San Diego, band member, but Disney and the list goes on and on. TV shows, Netflix. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into what's really important to me: Chargers versus Raiders.
Yes.
Did you go to the game?
I went to the game 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
I as my dad tells everybody, post game was not too good for me because I was not happy about that. I mean, I this sounds crazy, but I invest so much time during the week studying what watching interviews and why did we do this over this, and then I go to the game and I'm ready. I feel like I'm behind the scenes coach, and just to be.
You're on the wrong side, though. You're on my side.
I was on your side, but I was,
cheering for the
it's
other
like,
team.
I could be on that side, but when you bleed silver and black, it doesn't matter.
What do you think of StubHub? Because, I've been to so many football games, and I love watching football in that small stadium.
Oh, I think it was awesome. I mean, we had great seats, but we were even near the top of the stadium, and I felt like I was right there still. So for anybody in that stadium, you have a great seat.
And now, I always say every rap star, musician, actor wants to be a football or basketball or baseball player, and every basketball, baseball, or football player wants to be a rapper, musician, or actor.
Yeah.
Right? And I told this story earlier how Matthew McConaughey wanted to meet your friend and mine, Andre Reed.
Yep.
Andre Reed wanted to meet Matthew. Why do you think it is that when you have this access in your own industry that you still have such an attraction to want to be like an Andre Reed or a Marshawn Lynch?
Maybe it goes back to how I feel about the Raiders. I've worked with so many big actors from when I was super young, but it's a different vibe. It's a different career completely. And even growing up, I loved being outside. I loved playing football, and the goal in high school was to be a football player until acting kind of kicked off for me. So then
you made the right choice, by the way. You're about my size. It's much easier. You're a good size for an actor.
Yeah, there is no way I could be a football player. I mean, I'm shorter than the shortest football players who are like 5'10", 5'11". I mean, that's like my brother's height. So there's no way. I mean, I'd be left bench.
Yeah. I always say I played college football, and people say, "What position do you play?" I said, "I played tailback." When I got off the bench, the coach was like, "Get your tailback on the bench. You're way too short to play here."
But maybe I have an advantage though. I'm so small. I just sneak
right, like
through
Darren
all the holes.
Sproles, one of the great Chargers.
Exactly. Oh, here we go.
All right. So what most people don't know is that the entertainment industry or the sports industry is not a job, right? That it's work, and that it's a competitive field that takes skills, knowledge, and a tremendous amount of desire, which is a consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential.
Absolutely.
There's great rewards for actors in movies and Netflix shows and TV shows and musicians, but there's great risk. What do you think it is, because you're so young, what do you think it is that made you successful in such a competitive industry compared to others that try? What are those ingredients?
I think it's a matter of just not giving up. Like you said, this industry or industries, sports and entertainment, are so competitive. Why? Because there's so much competition. So many people want to be in sports and want to be on TV. I mean, I go to schools all the time. I'm talking to kids, and they're like, I want to be on TV. It's always people want to be famous. I mean, that's like...
Why?
Huh? Why do they want to be famous? I mean, people want to be on TV, and people like their name in the lights, and yeah, that's all fine and dandy, and of course I love it, but for me, it's about the passion. I love the work. I love the the art that goes into it behind. And with that being said, there's a lot of rejection. You know, it's not like I could just get everything.
Yeah.
And
You're not The Rock.
yeah, right. And but when you're at that point, like him, he's my inspiration. And I just met him actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
And with him though, now he's getting offered roles, and people are writing stuff specifically for him. But that's 1 in a million, you know, 1 in 100 right now with
1 in
A-listers.
100 million.
Exactly. Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Millions of people want to be in this industry, but it's the rejection and it's the letdown when you get told no that people lose that motivation. So for me, what I think worked for my career is that no matter what, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. Didn't matter how many no's I get told or I've been told, it's always the next one. There's always another chance. But with that being said, when you do get rejected, it's depressing. It's hard. It's hard to build up that.
Still today?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's these little like acknowledgments and seeing my name in a movie, seeing my name on a poster right now, flying around the country and walking into a movie theater and seeing my name on the big screen, being in this room with high, you know, profile people like yourself that remind me when all of this is gone, when it's back to me in my room studying for that next job, I want that feeling again.
Exactly. Now, let me help you out with no. So the best piece of advice that I got about no, because I believe in this consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential, no matter what it is, sports, entertainment, engineering, it doesn't matter.
You're right.
And when you have that passion and purpose and profitability transfers over to your entire family, right? One of the most difficult things about believing in yourself is that just because someone loves you doesn't mean they give you good advice. So your parents are trying to protect you. And when you tell them, hey, I want to be a famous actor, they're like, whoa, you know, study hard. And, you know, but when you have that passion and purpose like you, they start believing as well. And it adds to it. Let me give you the no advice. Someone told me a long time ago, because I was in sales, and they said, just think about no like this. What if I told you you're only 25 no's from getting that movie that you wanted, right? How happy would you be when you got the first no compared to what most people are? How happy on the 10th no? How ecstatic would you be after 24 no's?
I'm only one away.
You're only one away. Well, for me, and I think for you subconsciously at least, if not consciously, you know you're only so many no's away from getting what you want, which changes the complete energy of no.
I'm gonna have to start writing this down in my folder.
Well, we'll give you a book, man. It'll be right on. So, you know, rejection is hard enough when you're older. You know, when you're young, it means everything. How did you know, there's a lot of sacrifice involved. There's a lot of challenging things that happen when you're famous that people don't give you. You know, I think the most difficult thing as you build a brand is I represented some great people when I ran Lee Steinberg, and obviously at Sports One Marketing. You know, everyone sees all your name on the billboards and sees you on TV, and they want that, but they don't see the other side of it. They don't see you in your room getting the no's, studying and studying and studying, and other people are out there having fun at your age, doing other things. And
friends getting invited to the things you're not getting invited to.
Yeah, and they're all jealous that you're getting invited to things they think they want to be to, and some of them aren't that fun.
You know, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You know, so how did you and do you deal with that, you know, the reconciliation of I'm sacrificing a lot, and a lot of people don't appreciate what I'm sacrificing?
And then, like you said, it's always the end product. And this industry since I was a little boy. I mean, I didn't really make too many friends in school. You know, I was going to a public school, which is surprising for a lot of people. My whole life I did, and I wasn't really at school that much. I was always driving in the car. I was always at auditions. I was always on set. But that was the sacrifice that I wanted to make. Sports. I was in with all of the football players, but there was always that little thing where they didn't accept me fully because I wasn't one of them. I wasn't one of the boys. But at the end of the day, I had my friends on set. I had my co-stars. So relationships, girls, it was hard to keep a relationship when I wasn't really on set. It's like
Plus, all those hot girls always hitting on you. That's a difficulty.
exactly. So maybe the girls,
I feel so bad for
I
Ryan.
dealt with
I had the opposite. That's where I learned no.
Okay, exactly.
In high school, I learned to ask a lot.
Oh, there we go. I was on set. I got to work every kid when I was at school, they all had girlfriends, but then I'm like, okay, I get to go to and hang out with Selena Gomez, stuff like that, So it's like it had their pros and cons to everything.
Like everything else.
But it was always that this is what I wanted to do. And it didn't matter what comes with that. I knew that I wanted to be on TV, didn't care what it was going to take. And then it goes, I always said from the very beginning, and my parents still quote when they say, oh, why didn't Ryan play football? I always told them, I could play football in a movie. I could play baseball in a movie. Guess what? One of my very first films that I did that hit theaters was a baseball movie. I played a catcher.
That's
I got
awesome.
to play in.
And you're much better in the movies than you were in real life.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm really good.
You are.
I actually booked. I booked one of the roles in the movie because, acting, whatever, and because I was a good baseball player. The writer ended up switching around all of the teammates and cast and everything because my final audition or callback was a baseball game, catch with the writer. I never dropped one ball, never let one get past me. He ended up rearranging and moved me to the catcher.
That's so interesting because Lee Steinberg, who's the most notable sports agent of all time, Jerry Maguire, he did the movie Any Given Sunday, and he was the technical advisor and associate producer of that film. Well, there was a young guy that was starting his dramatic career named Jamie Foxx.
Who's that?
Exactly. He's Just You famous. When he goes to a club, they're like, just you.
Just you.
Jamie, at that time, they had like P. Diddy or Master P or somebody in the role of the quarterback. And back then, they didn't have as many CGI things, and so they couldn't just transpose. Well, I think it was P. Diddy was from New York. Well, he didn't know how to throw a football. And they were having difficulty because there's a lot of quarterback scenes in that movie Any Given Sunday.
Of course.
Well, Lee had seen Jamie Foxx in something and had met him and said, hey, we should try Jamie for this role. And Lee was responsible as the technical consultant because Jamie could play, right? Jamie could play football. And they loved the way he looked on film. He could make the throws. He looked coordinated.
Oh, of course.
And that's how... Talk about karma, right? You take this guy who's a great comedian and only known and kind of stereotyped into being a comedian and gave him a fantastic first dramatic role, which then led to Academy Award winning roles, et cetera. And I think he's a tremendous actor beyond comedian and great guy like you. All right, quick advice, because, I've always been the guy behind the scenes, entertainers, athletes, the biggest names, being able to help them build their brands, their profile, and most importantly, how to give back. And it's something that I think is inherent of you with your siblings and your dad. It's really important. You travel a lot helping out other kids and causes around, which I really...
Some that aren't even, talked about behind the scenes. No one really knows. Yeah.
Yeah. And what difference does that make in your life, and why do you do it?
I believe that all of this is because of that. What I do, I feel, is a huge payoff because I want to help people, and I feel like that's what comes with this. And what's cool too is that I almost have this platform now and this name where kids will listen to me and actually take what I say to heart, So, I go to hospitals and just seeing someone who's sick smile right before they're about to go into surgery or coming out of surgery, and they see me and their eyes light up. That is the most rewarding feeling, So whether it's kids in hospitals or charity events where I go and I meet families, and the families are introducing me to their kids who may not even be there, or I'm FaceTiming somebody. Just the other night, I was leaving a screening of my movie, and I did a huge shout out to one of my friends and her whole class. The next day, I end up getting a message from one of the moms saying, "Oh my gosh, why didn't he send a shout out to me?" And it's like, you would think my dad was like, "Hey, do you care?" I'm like, "What? Like, are you serious? Like, it's gonna be hard to do a shout out to make this person's day." It's the easiest thing and the most rewarding feeling that I have this life where I get to do what I love, but also there's another side to it where you can make people smile, and that's incredible to me.
Yeah, and you'll see the more you provide value to others, the more you're of service, the faster everything will come to you. Now,
and it's not even about that to me.
Right.
I don't even think about it that way. I think about it as, I just get to make someone smile and they actually get to listen to me. I don't even think about, what am I going to get from it?
that's right. That's in that unconditional behavior, right? Because remember, if you're giving to get, it's trading. It's not giving. And that's what makes you so authentic. So I'm obviously a little bit older than you. I'm probably older than your dad. But I am building, through Gary Vee and, Milet and just all these other guys that I hang out with, I'm building my own brand for the first time in my life. I'm not behind the scenes. What advice would you give me? I'm 50 years old. What advice would you give me about building my own brand?
Wow. Turn the tables.
Yeah, well, you got expertise. I believe in having mentors with situational knowledge. I love your brand, so I'd love for you to give me your advice.
Here's something. I feel like your brand needs to speak to everybody, young people and older people, which is something that I want to bring to my brand, and also my projects, my films or TV shows. Goes with the movie I'm promoting right now. A lot of older people are taking to it, but I want younger kids, because in reality, the movie actually, I feel, needs to speak to younger kids, and I feel like younger kids need to see the movie. Anyway, with your brand, you want young people to take to you. You want young people to buy what you're selling. For me, I built my career in Disney and Nickelodeon, so I have a huge teen fan base. But I want moms and dads to know who I am. I want moms and dads to be the ones to tell their kids, no, we're going to see Ryan Ochoa's movie, or we're going to see Ryan Ochoa and his brothers perform. Not just the kids saying, "Oh my gosh, Mom, can you take me to the Ochoa Boys' show?" No, I want the moms and dads. No, I want to hear them on the radio. I want you guys. I'm buying your guys' ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think my brand, I want it to speak to everybody, and I think that's what you need.
That's great.
Not just you knowing all of the
older
sports people, me telling my dad, vice versa. Me telling my dad, oh, David, we need to be a part of him,
So we'll have to do some Instagram lives together and unite.
That's what I was leading to.
There we go.
Social media.
Yeah. Well,
Social
I partnered with a kid named Casey Adams, and I could see this huge influence all of a sudden I had on younger millennials that, when I talk about being of service and value and advice, it really resonated where, as a bigger entrepreneur, in the magazines and all that stuff, the CEOs and the 50, 60, 70-year-old, 30, 40s, I want to start addressing the people that can create change.
Yeah, you need to build 1 million followers.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Exactly. And the right ones, right? I don't want to be a Kardashian. I'm not selling anything. I don't need you to buy Dave Meltzer perfume, even though I'd be a perfect spokesperson.
Even though we'd buy it.
Exactly. I'm more interested in 10, 20 years from now, like Bob Proctor is to me, or Jack Canfield, or, some of the great thought leaders in the world are my mentors. My vision is, for Ryan 20 years from now, Dave and I started working together, and I was able to change all these lives, empower all these people to do that. And I think, together.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah, we'll
speaking my language.
And I'm going to make a trade with you, because I'm going to make you a deal. We'll do a podcast with Marshawn and have you there. But I also want to meet and greet. I got 3 teenage daughters. I'd love for them to meet you. I'm sure they're going to look at me and go, "How did you not tell me that Ryan was in your office today?"
That's so awesome.
And we did that years ago. I met Scooter Braun before Justin was famous. And he's a Warren Moon fan because they're from Canada. And he walked away, and I called my wife. I'm like, "Yeah, some kid named Justin Bieber wants to meet the girls, and he's going to have a concert, his first concert." He was 12. And my wife's like, "Did you say Justin Bieber?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "No, it's Justin Bieber." Hold on. And the girls were going crazy in the background.
Wow.
So we got to do the first meet and greet up in the Palladium in LA. it was at Madhouse, and with his gray hoodie and his normal tennis shoes, and he was so talented. So I feel the same way about meeting you.
I met Scooter in Rome, and Scooter and Justin.
Yeah, I think Scooter will be on the podcast too. They're good guys.
Yeah,
I really enjoy them.
They are smart business people.
All right, last question. Yeah. Now, you're a family guy, right? You have a band with your family. I can tell, your family's heavily involved in what you're doing. Your name to me is the most valuable thing that you have, right? I believe in a legacy of the name, and that you carry your name on your back, you carry it in the movies, and that name is based on character, integrity, discipline, values that you've learned from the guy sitting right over there, your dad, who's, I could tell, your biggest fan as well.
Yeah. And my mom.
And your mom. She's not here though. I'm sure she's really doing all the hard work.
She's working
Exactly.
she's working with the other ones.
Yeah.
And sister.
Yeah. So that name's so important. What do you want in honor of your parents and everything they've sacrificed for you? What do you want that name to mean as your legacy? What do you want that name to mean when you're my age?
I love this question. It goes back to when my mom and dad have mentioned to me, we've talked about, but my mom and my dad pretty much gave up everything for all of us. And that says a lot. And it goes back to not a lot of kids can do what me and my brothers and my sister have been able to do. I mean, my sister's six years old. She's already worked on a bunch of commercials. Not a lot of kids would be able to do this if they didn't have parents who were either supportive or able to help us. I'm sorry, I was 10 years old and I couldn't drive myself to auditions. It was
a pain in the butt.
Mom. But then again, going back to what we talked about earlier, this business is cutthroat. It's not like you're going to get everything. So you do need a supportive system behind you. My dad was working super hard for over 18 years supporting our passion, supporting my dream. And now that I'm able to, basically help have a life where they don't need to work. They can put everything into me and my brothers and my sister. My dad's here with me. He doesn't have to be at a 9-to-5 job right now. That's what is continuing to motivate me. But going back to the name, because they gave up everything, they don't have a life where they can make the Ochoa name. It's me and my brothers and my sister's job now. And my dad was the only Ochoa. So it's me and my brother's job and my sister's to make that Ochoa name. And we talked about a few names earlier, and some names there's negative when you think of some, celebrities, there's negative thoughts or negative impressions or even experiences that people have had with these people. I don't want none of that. I don't want, when you say Justin Bieber, he's a business mogul. I mean, he's huge. But there's a lot of people or articles that have come out about, him in the press. It's like, he's amazing, but I don't want nothing negative when it comes to me and my family. I want us all to have a positive reputation, and I want every single person to look at us like, wow, they did it the right way. Yeah, they may have worked hard. Yeah, they may have had, it may have taken them a long time, many, many years. But at the end of the day, when we reach that final time, when it's our time to go, everything before was, wow, they didn't have nothing negative towards them, no negative articles, and they were just nice people. They were kind to everybody they met.
You saw the sign when you walked in my office?
Yes.
What did it say?
Huh?
What did it say? You remember? A little white sign on the desk, it says, be kind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's right in the
so
behind.
You nailed it. And I think your parents, like that Ochoa name, that is their legacy, and all your brothers and your sister, and you're doing a tremendous job to carry that forward and to add value to that name, which is something to remember. That's how I think I honor my parents, is I carry the name that they gave me. And,
in a great way.
Right.
I mean, you're a good person.
And I, the more popular there's some arbitrary people that can say negative things, and but if you're a kind person and you're doing the best that you can, you know what, the few angry people. I love you have a bigger following than me, but you're gonna get negative comments, especially when you do a movie. My favorite thing to do to people is address it. Hey, I really appreciate your perspective, and I'll lay out my cell phone right there, and I'll say, give me a call because I really want to know why you feel that way about me because I've never met you. Right, I've never met you, so I must not have communicated effectively. And I'll give my cell phone. The amazing thing is 95% of the people never call me, right? Because they know that it's baseless. And the people that do call always start with an apology. Hey, I was having a bad day, and I went back and watched your videos, and I end up with like the biggest fan in the world. Never once have I had one person who has said something negative or ignorant to me, which happens.
Yeah, because they have no proof.
Yeah,
there's
not one of them have
backup.
called and explained to me why they felt that way other than apologize. So, keep that in mind that, we're not made by those people. When we live those type of lives like you live, it's only going to get better.
I'm working with, well, not working, I just, did a movie with Hal Linden, who's a legend. And we were talking about critics of our film. And 99% of them, I mean, people are loving our movie. But me, I'm on social media digging deep into those,
Do not put faith.
One little post that says, oh, this movie, and I end up bringing it up to him.
Don't put faith in what you don't want.
And he tell me exactly. But I'm doing it because, like you said, I want to know why.
Right.
And then it makes me, that's why I really took to what you said. It makes me want to ask this person, okay, what about this movie? Why did you think that? And see what they say. But like Hal just told me, keep going. Those people are not going to define your career.
No.
Just keep going.
And, there's guys like Howard Stern that have made their living off of the people that hate them.
Yeah.
Right? And he literally, like, people that don't like Howard Stern, they stay on twice as long as the people that love him. And they both are on for the same reason. They can't wait to hear what he says
It's like the news.
Exactly.
My grandma, they all love watching the news because it drives them crazy, but they keep watching. They keep wanting more.
Well, don't drive people crazy. Anyway, this has been an amazing interview. And you have a big playbook in front of you, but it's incredible how much you've learned already. You're an old soul, and you're welcome on the Playbook at any time. Anything I can do to be of service to you or your family, especially I made this promise, the Beast Mode, you're going to meet him, and
man.
we got to do a few Instagram lives and cannibalize each other's audience. I'll bring you the old people, you bring me the young ones.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well,
thank you for having me, man.
Thank you, Ryan.
Blast.
Ryan Ochoa with Entrepreneur, the Playbook.